In 1990, the North Alabama Conference Commission on the Status and Role of Women recognized a barrier breaker, and that began a tradition of each year at annual conference recognizing someone who has worked to lift up those on the margins and specifically to work for the full inclusion of women in the total life of the church. The award became known as the Louise Branscomb Barrier Breaker Award. Let's hear from a past recipient.
It was a little bit overwhelming to be the first woman conference lady. I felt that I had a very strong responsibility to show that women could be good leaders. And I also wanted to show that women have a strong place in the church and to encourage them to take their place in the church as leaders, not just as servers and of food, because sometimes that's what people think about them. And we have some very strong women in our conference, and I met some very strong women over the nation. One of the things that I had enjoyed the most as my work was going to the various meetings throughout the conference and getting to know all the wonderful people who are doing a little bit anyway in every corner of this conference. But I felt that in the North Alabama Conference that our work in the Methodist Church was not only strong, it was welcomed. It may not appear that way in some situations, but I think that the Methodist Church in the North Alabama Conference is one of the strongest organizations anywhere and is certainly doing the work of Christ. I did enjoy being a part of the leadership in this conference, and I felt that that Bishop Fannin and Dr. Birdie in particular were very helpful and very gracious about putting me forth, not just sitting back. It's very interesting to be in a group with people from all over the Southeast, and that was primarily when I was with people, was when I was in the Southeast, and to hear what's going on in the different conferences. You get such wonderfully rich ideas to bring back, and you get to see people who have strong leadership themselves. Some are stronger than others, and you can learn from them. General Conference is fascinating because so much goes on, and there's so many different committees that meet to make their recommendations for the church, and then they come back together to tell you about it. I served on a committee, but don't ask me which one. It's been a while ago. I just think that we need to be more visible. And I think that we need to let people know how much the love that we have for them comes from Christ. That we are truly His messengers, and that the world would be so much better off if we could all understand each other, even if we don't like each other. And sometimes we don't necessarily like each other, but if we could just try to understand each other and put ourselves in their places, we could make some more inroads into their lives with Christianity.
Thank you for watching this video. The work of breaking barriers is ongoing. With that in mind, and on behalf of the Commission, I would like to invite you to follow the link below to nominate any person or persons who exhibits the behavior and spirit of a barrier breaker. The nomination deadline is March 31st. Until next time, May God's grace and mercy enfold you.